All right, so get this. We're going to deep dive into bat teeth today.
Bat teeth?
Yeah, bat teeth. But not just any bat teeth.
Okay.
We're talking Noctilionoid bats.
Interesting.
And get this, their teeth could hold clues about evolution, diet, maybe even our own teeth.
Wow.
It's going to be a wild ride, I think.
I'm excited.
We'll be looking at this super cool article from Nature Communications. It's called Jaw Wars. How bats evolved a diverse arsenal of teeth for survival.
Catchy title.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in like evolution or maybe you're pre-dent.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, this is the deep dive for you. You're going to learn a lot about how these bats evolved.
Definitely.
And how their teeth played a huge role in that whole process.
Well, you know, it's easy to overlook teeth, I guess.
Sure.
But they're really important for survival.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And in the case of these Noctilionoid bats, their teeth tell us this really fascinating story about how they adapted so quickly and how they ended up with such a diverse range of diets.
It's crazy, right?
Did you know that they evolved over 200 different species in just the last 25 million years?
200 species in 25 million years. That just seems so fast.
It is fast.
What could even drive that kind of change?
Well, that's what makes these bats so fascinating.
Okay.
They're like the Darwin's Finches of the bat world, right?
Oh, interesting.
Each species has these unique adaptations, specifically in their teeth, that let them focus on very specific food sources.
So like different teeth for different foods.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're talking insect eaters, fruit eaters, nectar feeders.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Fish-eating bats.
You got it.
I thought all bats ate insects.
Nope, not these guys.
Wow. Okay, so...
Lots of variety.
Yeah, how do scientists even, figure all this out?
Well, the article talks about this really cool research.
Okay.
They use CT scans and computer models.
Really?
To study the jaws and teeth.
Wow. Of over 100 Noctilionoid species.
100 species of bats. That's crazy.
It's a lot of bats.
That's a lot of data. So what did they find?
Well, they found a fascinating link between the bat's jaw shape, their diet, and how their teeth are arranged.
Okay, so jaw shape, what does that have to do with what a bat eats?
Well, imagine you're a bat, and you've got a short jaw.
Okay.
Like some of those bulldog-faced fruit eaters.
Oh, interesting. Like a bulldog bat.
Yeah, they're kind of cute.
Kinda.
But anyway, they don't have as much room for all their teeth.
So what do they do?
Do they just cram them all in there?
I mean, I would assume...
Not quite. It's more like evolution kind of picked and chose which teeth to keep.
Survival of the fittest teeth?
Exactly. So some teeth got smaller.
Okay.
Some even disappeared entirely.
Really?
Yeah, and these short-jawed, fruit-eating bats, they often end up with these wider front molars.
Which are good for...
Crushing.
Crushing, yeah.
Those tough fruits.
Makes sense. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Lose some teeth.
Yep.
Get more crushing power.
Exactly. Form follows function.
Wow.
That's a classic example.
So cool.
Now think about those nectar-feeding bats.
Okay, yeah.
With their long snouts, they've got those long jaws.
Right.
Plenty of space for a full set of teeth.
They don't have to sacrifice any...
No sacrificing here.
Deluxe apartment for teeth.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah.
And their molars, they're totally different.
How so?
Well, they're not wide and robust for crushing.
Right.
They're slender and pointy.
Okay.
Perfect for piercing flowers.
And getting that nectar.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we've got crushing teeth and piercing teeth.
And then what about those insect eaters?
Good question. They often have those medium-sized jaws.
Okay.
And their teeth are kind of a mix.
In between.
Yeah, got to be able to grab and tear.
Makes sense.
Through those exoskeletons.
It's just incredible how natural selection just figures it all out.
It's amazing. Right.
So how do these adaptations actually, develop?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
The researchers, they found these developmental rules.
Rules?
Yeah, that seem to control how teeth actually form. So it all comes down to the size of the jaw.
Really?
That dictates how the teeth are arranged.
So it's like the jaw is the blueprint.
Okay, yeah.
And then the teeth just fill in the blanks.
It's more like the jaw sets the stage.
Okay.
And then the teeth, they follow these rules to make sure everything fits.
Fascinating. So you're saying it's not just random.
It's definitely not random.
Oh, is this like a plan?
There's a plan, a set of instructions.
Wow, that's incredible. Makes you wonder if this whole thing can help us understand how teeth develop in,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
other mammals, even humans.
I think you're onto something.
Really?
Because, most of what we know about teeth comes from studying mice. But their teeth are pretty simple.
Compared to bats and us.
Exactly. They mainly have molars and incisors.
So what you're saying is mice, they might not be the best model?
They might not be.
For understanding how teeth develop.
It's something to think about, right?
Wow. Okay, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, isn't it?
So bats could actually hold the key.
They could.
To unlocking some of the mysteries of human tooth development.
Potentially, yes.
This is already shaping up to be one of the most interesting deep dives we've ever done. But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
of course,
let's dive a little deeper into the different types of teeth.
Good idea.
And how they've adapted to these different diets.
I'm ready.
Can you give me an example of how, a fruit-eating bat's teeth are different from, say, a nectar-feeding bat?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great place to start.
So we've got these fruit-eating bats with their, powerful jaws for crushing.
Right.
What's going on with their teeth specifically? How are they different?
Well, let's picture those bulldog-faced fruit bats again.
Okay.
The Jamaican fruit bat, actually. It's a prime example.
Okay, so Jamaican fruit bat.
They've got those short jaws we talked about.
Right. Less space for teeth.
Exactly.
But what makes their molars so different?
Okay, so think about it this way.
Okay.
Eating a piece of fruit versus lapping up nectar.
Totally different.
Right, totally different actions.
Yeah.
Fruit needs that crushing, grinding action.
Makes sense.
And those wider molars in fruit-eating bats, they're perfect for that.
So it's all about maximizing that force.
Bite force, to
break down those tough fruits.
Exactly.
Wow, so cool.
And the article even mentions that the front molars in these short-jawed bats, they tend to be even wider.
Oh, interesting.
Because they've got more room to develop.
Oh, I see.
They're the first ones to form, so they get a head start.
So it's not just the number of teeth.
Right.
But also when they develop...
The order matters,
It seems like every little detail is just optimized.
Evolution is pretty amazing.
Yeah. What about the nectar feeders?
Okay, so those nectar feeders...
With their long snouts.
Yeah, those long jaws.
Lots of space.
Plenty of room for all the teeth.
So their molars are probably pretty different, too.
Totally different. Instead of being wide and robust for crushing, they're slender and pointy for
piercing.
Piercing those flowers.
To get that nectar.
Exactly.
So we've got crushing teeth, piercing teeth.
Right.
What about the insect eaters? Where do they fit in?
Good point. So insect eaters, they often have those medium-sized jaws.
Okay, so in between.
Kind of in between.
Yeah.
And their teeth, they're sort of a hybrid, right?
Makes sense.
They need to grab and tear.
Got to get through those exoskeletons.
Those exoskeletons are tough.
It's just crazy to think about how natural selection just figures all this out.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
But you mentioned earlier that this research could help us understand human tooth development.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that a bit more?
Absolutely. So as we talked about, most of what we know about tooth development comes from mice.
Yeah. Those lab mice.
Exactly. But their teeth are, they're pretty simplified.
Compared to us and bats.
Exactly.
You got all the teeth, right?
Yeah, all the different types.
Incisors, canines, premolars, molars.
The whole set.
So are you suggesting that mice,
it's possible,
even though they're the go-to model for this kind of research, they might not be the best?
Yeah, maybe not the best.
For understanding teeth.
Especially in species with a full set of teeth.
That's pretty wild.
It is, isn't it?
So we could learn a lot from bats.
I think so.
About our own teeth.
They could be the key to understanding the bigger picture.
So we're using bats to fill in the gaps in our knowledge of mammalian evolution.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, but how could this research actually, help us in the real world?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
What if we could use this knowledge to regenerate teeth?
Whoa.
Or personalized dental care.
Based on
your genes.
Wow.
So it's all about understanding those developmental rules that control tooth formation.
Right.
And those rules, they seem to be pretty consistent.
Across different mammals.
Yeah, so if we unlock those rules in bats...
It could have huge implications.
Absolutely.
For human health.
Imagine the possibilities.
This is mind-blowing.
It is pretty amazing.
It makes you wonder what other secrets bats might hold.
Right.
For understanding our own biology.
It's a good reminder that we can learn so much from all the different lives on Earth.
Totally agree.
Even creatures that seem totally different from us.
Like bats.
Like bats, exactly.
Speaking of unique adaptations.
Oh, yeah.
We can't wrap up this deep dive without talking about...
I know where you're going with this.
The elephant in the room.
Or the bat in the cave.
Vampire bats.
Got to talk about the vampire bats.
Okay, I'm all ears. What makes their teeth so special?
Well, think about what they need their teeth for.
So we've talked about like fruit bats crushing and nectar feeders with their needle teeth.
Right, right.
What about vampire bats?
Vampire bats. Well,
what's their like tooth strategy?
It's all about a quick, clean incision.
Okay.
To get to that blood.
So are they not actually like sucking blood like we imagine?
Not really. It's more of a bite, and then they lap up the blood.
So they're not like Dracula.
Not quite.
Okay, interesting.
And they have these grooves on their tongues.
Oh, wow.
To help. But what's really interesting is that they actually have fewer teeth.
Fewer?
Yeah, they've reduced the number.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, if you're not...
You don't need all those extra molars.
So they've just, like, streamlined...
Streamlined, exactly.
Like your whole mouth.
Just the essentials.
Wow, it's all about efficiency.
Evolution loves efficiency.
Makes you wonder if they'll, like, lose even more teeth.
Oh, interesting thought.
You know, millions of years from now.
It's possible, yeah.
Vampire bats with, like, no teeth.
Just those super sharp incisors.
Just a couple of fangs.
Exactly.
Okay, so to wrap things up, what's, like, the biggest takeaway?
Well, for me, it's the speed of evolution.
Oh, yeah.
We think it's this slow process, but these bats change so fast.
Especially when they needed to find new food.
New food, new teeth.
It's amazing. It's like...
That is.
Evolution's always working.
Always.
Even when we don't see it.
In the background.
And the fact that we can learn about ourselves from these creatures is just wow.
It really shows you how connected everything is.
Totally. I never thought I'd have so much in common.
With a bat.
But their teeth tell a different story.
It's like we're looking back in time, seeing those ancient adaptations.
Still influencing us today.
It really makes you wonder.
What's it we can learn?
Yeah. If bat teeth can teach us about our own teeth.
Exactly.
What other secrets are out there?
What about echolocation?
Or flight?
What could those teach us?
So many possibilities.
The possibilities are endless.
For our listeners who want to, like, see this stuff for themselves.
Oh, good idea.
Go online, search for Noctilionoid bat skulls.
You'll be amazed.
You'll see everything from bulldog faces to, like...
the sleek vampire bat skulls.
Real testament.
To the power of evolution.
Right. Nature is full of surprises.
Always.
And there's always more to learn.
That's the truth.
This has been a fascinating deep dive.
I agree.
We've got a whole new appreciation for bats.
Me too.
Their teeth.
Amazing teeth.
And the power of evolution.
So powerful.
So to all our listeners, keep exploring. Keep asking questions.
Never stop learning.
And never underestimate the power of a good set of teeth.
Couldn't agree more.